Hey, I'm NichBoy and welcome to Pocket for Thursday, the 7th of January. Today on the show, League's new champion, Indie Game Awards, and Steam. Why won't you talk to me? But first, here's what's been making headlines. Nintendo shares have dropped 7.6% after financial services group Nikko Securities lowered the company's performance rating from neutral to underperform. The status change was made in part because Nikko's analysts predict Nintendo's push into smartphone games will not make full contributions to their bottom line until March of 2018. Apparently, they've seen Miitomo. Moving on, and League of Legends developer Riot Games has dropped a teaser trailer for the imminent release of their new champion. As is the way with all good teasers, not too much is revealed. The new champ remains unnamed and unseen, but for a glimpse of his mask. Though it does appear he will use a gun to shoot elemental magic at his foes. And as with all good trailers for MOBAs, he remains ethereal and magical and arty, but in reality, he'll actually just be a tiny cartoon character who explodes into coins when you kill him. Next up, and Mafia 3's release date may have been revealed by the US department store Best Buy. Publisher 2K's official word up until this point has been that the game is due out at some point this year, but markings on pre-order slips in Best Buy are indicating that the game will be in stock for release on the 26th of April. And the Independent Games Festival has announced its list of finalists for 2016. There are 26 games up for awards across the 7 categories. The nominees for the grand prize are Darkest Dungeon, Her Story, Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, Mini Metro, Super Hot, and Undertale. Winners will be announced at the IGF Awards on the 16th of March. And joining me to discuss the last story is Peter Pumpkin Eater. It's me.
I eat pumpkins.
You're not dressed like a gamer.
I'm dressed appropriately
Gamers
for the
wear
situation.
full suits. Maybe I should get a waistcoat. Look, here's our last story.
Yep.
Ubisoft have revealed that Far Cry Primal will not support co-op play. According to Ubisoft community manager Jason Paradise, great name, we had to reinvent our core gameplay loop, which was definitely not a small undertaking. Therefore, in the early stages of the project, we made the difficult choice of focusing our efforts on the single-player experience. Pete, you and I sometimes play games together.
Dota. That's about it.
Pete, you and I sometimes play game together.
Game.
How do you feel about co-op being removed?
From Far Cry, I don't think it's that big a loss, to be honest.
Yeah.
There are a few people who are annoyed by it because it was in Far Cry 3. There's like
Yeah.
a 2 to 4 player, like it was a weird kind of co-op.
Yeah, there were like
thing.
6 missions or something. Yeah, you
Yeah.
went through and did those.
And then 4 actually played with Goose.
Yeah.
Which was the proximity kind of.
yeah, you could join their
in the
world,
open world.
but yeah, you can go too far away.
Which was actually really cool because of the gameplay in that game. Like it's a pretty repetitive loop.
Yeah,
It's fun to have someone else there
yeah.
to just like, grind it together.
It is fun to do that. I guess I never get too concerned with this kind of thing because I go, when I think about Far Cry, I go, what is the most important thing about that game? And co-op wasn't the most important thing about that
No,
game.
I don't think so.
And you don't want people spending a lot of time on something that not necessarily everyone is going to play if that means that it will hamper the other parts of the game. You've
Yeah,
got to weigh up
100%.
whether or not how many people are using that compared to like how much effort it will actually take to
Yeah,
put
and
in.
it ties into the broader games issue as well of just like shoehorning
multiplayer
into
yeah.
a thing that doesn't need it.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, I know you had issues with Battlefront not having single player.
Yeah.
But to me, I wouldn't really want to see DICE do another single player thing because
Yeah, right.
they typically suck at it.
Yes.
It's like let the people like push their creative vision, get their creative vision down, and do it well.
Yeah.
Rather than hampering them by taking a third of their team and a third of their resources and putting it into something that doesn't lift the game.
Yes. And also because I feel like I have kind of high hopes for Primal.
Yeah, me
and
too.
I know you do as well.
Yeah.
And I would love it to be, we were actually talking about this morning, like a smaller, more focused narrative kind of game in an open world, but it doesn't need to be the giant sprawling thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they have an opportunity to do their little like busy work stuff, make it a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
Particularly if they go for this survival mechanic that they're talking about.
Yeah,
A
exactly.
little more interesting than Far Cry has been in the past, rather than just like scanning stuff to make wallets.
So don't stress the small stuff, Mr. Paradise. All right, moving on. It's Thing of the Day.
Thing of the day.
NeoGAF member Eat Children, great name, has taken some satellite images of The Witcher 3's stunning, massive world. By unlocking the game camera, he was able to capture aerial shots over Velen, Novigrad, Skellig's main island, and White Orchard. Well done, Eat Children. I'm congratulating you for your work. That wasn't an instruction.
Not an encouragement.
Yeah. Thing of the day. Moving on now to what you want us to talk about in a segment we're calling What You Want Us to Talk About of the Day. And today's What You Want Us to Talk About of the Day, or something better if you can think of a name.
That's a standing title.
If you can think of something, let us know. Comes from Stephen Bettoni, who says, how do you feel about the recent Steam debacle, and do you, like myself, find the lack of communication from Valve disturbing? And how do you feel about Valve's approach to customer service and communication?
Yeah, well, I know you have strong opinions on this.
So, my feeling is, it's really crap what happened, but I think they dealt with it in the right way. So, for those of you who don't know, pretty much Steam was compromised in a way, in that there was a caching issue. So they got a DDoS attack. If you were on there browsing the store, you would click on a page and what you would be shown is a cached version of another user's account. So you wouldn't see yours, you'd see someone else's.
Yep.
And on that, you could see their purchase history, the last 4 digits of their Steam Guard phone number, the last 2 digits of their credit card number, and or their email address. So you could see some like personal stuff, but you couldn't see everything.
Not enough to really compromise someone on.
Yes, it's parts of stuff.
Yeah.
But working together, you could not do anything to compromise an account with that. And also, you couldn't actually buy anything using that. You were just seeing a cached web page. It wasn't interactive.
Yeah.
Obviously, people were upset. My thinking here is that last year, Valve sold $3.5 billion, roughly, of video games. They are an enormous company. And for them to come out and just instantly tell you, like drip feed you information about what happened would actually be irresponsible of them as a company. They're too big to let the story sort of run away from them.
Yeah.
So they held off saying like the full detailed outline until quite recently, actually, to let us know.
Yeah.
And from my opinion, that was the right thing to do. The one thing they did come out and say, though, people were going, oh my God, Steam's been hacked. Valve came out and went, you haven't been hacked. Like, don't worry, your accounts are safe. Your information is relatively safe, but you have not been hacked. Yeah, I just feel like you can't come out and go, here's what we know now, but we'll tell you more as we learn more, because that's, as a company, they're trying to protect themselves first.
Yeah. As soon as their message shifts and changes too much, then they just look totally
it looks out of control.
Yeah. They look like they've just lost the plot.
Yeah, whereas they're actually totaling up, making sure that everything was fine.
Yeah, so I guess at the end of the day, for this situation, I think they played it smart.
Yeah.
For the company that they are.
For the company they are, yeah.
Yeah, like they're going to be getting attacked. Like
all the time.
A huge company.
Yeah, it's kind of they're not like Media Molecule. They're like Google or something.
They're a target. They're like PlayStation Network down again.
Yeah.
Like, you know, these things are targets for people who are jerks, right?
Yeah.
Like you throw the stone at the biggest
ruining Christmas
fish. You throw stones at fish?
Yeah, if you're a dick.
Yeah. Jerks, man. I guess the issue though for people out there is that because there wasn't a lot of information coming out, which I don't think is the right thing to do in that particular situation, if private information had been taken, if compromising like credit card
full
details
credit
had been
cards
taken,
and that sort of stuff,
how long is it going to take for Valve to let everyone know? Are they going to tell us in time for us to do something about it, for the users to react in time, you know?
See, that's where I actually do feel confident, because I go, these giant companies, that is the death knell of a company like this, to go, oh no, all of your credit card details got leaked. If that happened, I actually think that they would come out right away and say it, because to hide it would be so much more damaging to them as a company. If something like that did happen, I feel like transparency is the only thing that you could do. Whereas here, they came out and they said, you haven't been hacked, bits of information have come out, but it's not something that you could use, and also, like, it sucks and we're sorry.
Yeah.
But, like, it's the price of doing business, and
it's the price of doing $35 billion worth of business.
$3.5 billion.
Sorry.
They wish it was $35 billion.
Oh my goodness.
So I feel like we need to meet them halfway with this stuff. And also as a company, you just can't be fully transparent to your customers all the time. That is irresponsible as a company. Look at me. Wearing a suit, defending the suits.
You're a disgrace.
What have I become? All right, that's it for today's episode of Pocket. My Pocketeers! What do you want us to discuss tomorrow? Let us know in the comments. And to keep up on everything Good Game, check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and iView. Want to meet fellow Pocketeers? Then join the Pocketeers Facebook group and Steam group. You can follow Good Game on Twitter at GoodGameTV, follow Pocket at NichBoy, at Pierreth, and at GGEditMonkey. There are links to everything I just said below in the description. And today's Thing of the Day graphic was brought to you by the letters JOELEBER and the numbers 9 and 2.
And I think it's Joel Eber?
Joel Eber.
Not Joe Lieber.
Yeah, Joe Lieber or Joel
So thank
Eber,
you, Joel.
92. Thank you, Joel or Joe. Have you made a thing? Send it in. All right, NichBoy.
Pierreth out.